Hey Megan, thanks for doing this. Congrats on the win. Just wondering, maybe bigger picture. I mean, obviously preparation for the Olympics, further kind of uncertainty this week. Just what's the sort of approach been like? Given, I imagine you guys hear some of that, as you're in camp here.
Yeah, I was actually doing a little recovery bath when I saw it pop up on my phone. But I think for us, we just are focused on every day. Eventually, someone will tell us if the Olympics are happening, if they're not happening, what day we're going to go into camp next, what flight we're going to get on, what time dinner is, all that kind of stuff. So, we have an incredible environment here that makes it really easy for us to just be able to show up and play and do our job. Obviously, we all understand we are in a global pandemic. Our country being one of the countries that's, been hit the hardest or handled it the worst. However, you want to say that, and we understand, the implications that has bringing the global community together for, technically, I think, a non-essential kind of thing. So I think for us, we just do everything we can to keep our environment safe, prepare the way that we can, fully understanding, much like last year. It was like, it didn't happen. It could very likely not happen again. That would be awful. I mean, personally, I would be, devastated. I think a lot of my teammates would be devastated to just kind of miss out fully on a major championship, because I don't think it would be postponed again at this point. But, someone will tell us at some point. But up until then, we just keep training and keep playing in these games.
And you're feeling good? I mean, obviously went the distance close to it anyway, more minutes than usual.
Yeah, I feel really good. I'm very thankful for the trust that Vlaco and the whole staff put in me, staying away obviously from the team for the year and not being a part of any activities. Knowing that. Or at least trusting me that I would show back up fit and ready to go, which I did. I'm thankful for that trust and the time that I had. And like I said, I mean, I feel better this January than, maybe in like 10 years probably, just being able to have a little bit of rest. So getting the 45 and then I think it was 60 or so. Was great for me, and just being able to kind of build those minutes. Obviously, you have a big tournament coming up next month, so look to continue to build that. Eventually, I'll get back to 90, but I'm in no rush. I'm a little older, so I'm gonna take that slow path.
Thanks, Jeff. Let's go to Meg Linehan. Hold on. Go ahead, Meg.
Hi, Megan. Just wondering if you could, I feel like a lot of very exciting things happened over the course of these two games, just in terms of the development of the team. Macario coming in, Mitch Purce's first career role. What are the big takeaways for you in terms of like most exciting things that you saw on the field and from the bench?
I mean, it's just a whole big old, you love to see it. To have the depth that we always have in our squad, but to have that depth be youth now, I think is huge. We did have an older squad in 19, which I think, served us well, but we have to get younger, especially thinking about, what the Olympics will be. It's a game, I think, every 3 days, which is totally insane. And just the quality of the youth as well. I mean, obviously, Kat, you guys have seen her in college, and I think what she showed tonight, what she's been showing us in training, is unbelievable. We haven't, I'm not really sure, ever had a striker that plays like her. She comes back, gets on the ball, obviously very creative, more like kind of a false nine. So I'm looking forward to, getting to know her game and for us to have a different aspect of us. Midge coming in, get a goal is amazing. The other Mewis sister, Christy, coming in, being all over the ball every time she gets in, getting another goal. It's great. I mean, especially as an older player, I feel like, us older players, I think we take a lot of pride in still being here, but, having this sort of fresh infusion of blood, it is just great for us. It keeps us young. Hopefully it'll keep, some of the huge minutes out of our legs as well, so we can play a little bit longer, but, it's really exciting to see the young kids. Obviously Jane started tonight and got the whole game. So We got a really bright future, and I think, looking forward to the Olympics, kind of blending the experience that we have with this super talented young group who off the field are just amazing and really great kids as well, I think is going to suit us great.
Thanks, Megan.
Thanks, Meg and Meg. Sandra Herrera, go ahead.
All right, that's phase one. And that's phase two. Hi, Megan. Sandra Herrera from CBS Sports.
With the sweatshirt?
Yo, shout out to your girl.
Gang, gang!
But, you know what? I want to keep that energy because just to piggyback off Lena Ann's question, we hear a lot about young players when we hear the next generation, the next wave of players coming into this system. And there's always that sort of mentality of like, we got to chill. We can't hype too high. But I want you to stay with that energy. Why should everybody be so excited about Katarina Macario?
I mean, like I said, Kat is a different kind of player than I think that we've ever had. She's a different nine than we've ever had. Like I said, she drops in a little bit more, plays more like a false nine. Obviously, she's creative. Obviously, she can score goals. But it's like the translation, I think. Even just I saw a few of her highlights from college and just the kind of goals that she's scoring, taking one off the chest and volleying it top corner, or just a quick, touch around and burying it, hard and low. I just think that physically she's kind of already ready to be at this level, which that's a huge jump for a lot of people to go from college to this level, to be able to compete physically. You saw she can hold it up. She's quick, she's fast, she thinks fast. And I think she's just going to be like one of those sort of fun players that you love to see. Someone that's going to excite the fans. Someone that's going to, come out with, something creative or nutmeg, or she's going to do a little chip. I think we're already kind of seeing that in practice. And, couple that, she seems like a really great kid, eager and hungry to be on this team. It was actually really cute. We give, game balls out for everyone's first cap and if you your first goal. And, we always kind of tease them like speech. She actually did. She gave a little speech, and just, her talking about how she's looked up to this team for so long and dreamt of being on this team, and now her being in this position. I mean, it's just like this full circle moment for all of us. And I think the older players take pride in knowing that, we're continuing to grow the game and leave it in a better place and inspire the next generation, just as the older ones did for us. So it's really just kind of a cool moment. Obviously, her whole story, but then on the field, she's still getting comfortable, but she's going to be fire, and I think we all can see that.
Thanks. Yeah, absolutely. Just to follow up real quick about a question with the opposition. A lot is always made when you guys go up against teams that maybe aren't ranked super high. How do you guys keep the same energy going into something like She Believes Cup, and how are you changing your mentality, if at all, going up against those types of teams?
I mean, our focus is always to win major championships. And in order to do that, you can't really focus, I'm going to beat this team, or we just need to be better than, this team at this rank or whatever. We're used to being ranked number one. We're obviously the title holders right now of the World Cup. So I feel like, we're the team to get. And for us, it's always about how do we get better for ourselves. We really only judge ourselves against ourselves. And I think that's something that, is different about this team, and something that is our huge advantage is that we never think like, we just need to be better than this team. We need to think, what do we need to do to win the Olympics? And so clearly we're not anywhere near where we need to be to win the Olympics right now. So that's our focus. It's not, as Vlatko was saying, it's not just about jumping over the hurdle. It's about jumping as high as you possibly can all of the time and getting the absolute most out of yourself and the team and the group as we possibly can.
Thanks, Meg. Last few for Pino here. Let's go to Maria Monroy. Go ahead, Maria.
Hi, Megan. Congratulations on the victory. Regardless of the results, are you aware of the transcendence and importance of the series of matches for Colombian women's soccer?
Like they haven't played in a while.
Yeah. We know that they haven't played for a while. I don't know exactly how long. I mean, you never want to see that. Obviously, we want all the teams around the world to be playing a consistent schedule. Last year, obviously taken out of that, there was not many games in general. But that's the part of the game that we continue to push. We continue to push FIFA and the different confederations to invest in their women's teams and invest in the schedule and make sure that teams are getting games. It's better for everyone when everyone is playing a consistent game schedule. I thought, to be honest, they were really good for not having played for that long and for, just arriving here a couple days ago. So they have a really talented young squad. I think they have a lot of promise in it. And, of course, with, a bunch of more games under their belt, they're only going to get better.
Let's go to Dan Pentland. Go ahead, Dan.
Thanks, Aaron. Hi, Megan. I just want to speak. You've spoken about one Mewis sister this evening. I just wanted to ask about the other one, Sam Mewis. Obviously, she was fantastic on Tuesday. Today, I think she was involved in 2 of the goals. US Soccer Player of the Year 2020. In your opinion, just how good is she at the minute? And have you got the best player in the world on current form in your side?
I mean, Sam is playing unbelievable. I was actually thinking that. I think during the game, actually, I had a momentary wander of the mind, thinking how Sam has just emerged as one of, probably one of the top 3-4 players in our team right now, potentially the best player in our team. Actually, I think she probably is the best player in our team right now. I think that's pretty easy to say. I think going overseas was great for her to continue to get games. I think she's really like finding her game and coming into, the sort of, not the peak of her career, the prime of her career. And she just looks comfortable. She's dominant all the time. She's such a different player, I think, than any other player in the world with, not only her size, but the way that she uses it, her dribbling ability, just dominating people through the midfield, her technical ability. She's a good passer. She's good in defense. She's good in the air. She's got a great shot. She kind of has this, complete box-to-box midfield game. And she's just playing unbelievable at the moment. And honestly, I feel like there's just so much more room for her to grow. So we're really lucky. As I was saying, especially as we head into this Olympics, it's going to be a super tough schedule. And so to have, a player who's as young as she is starting to really come into their own and, be in the prime of their career, to really kind of shoulder the team in so many ways is going to be huge for us.
Last one for Megan goes to Steph Young. Go ahead, Steph.
Thanks, Aaron, and thanks, Megan. Steph Young from Stars and Stripes FC. Congrats on the brace. Megan, once again, we had some players standing, some players kneeling, and I really want to emphasize that the purpose of this question isn't to focus on the kneeling. It's the implications of team statements in contrast to team actions. Kneeling is symbolic, as you've demonstrated so many times, but so is standing when other people are kneeling. So you can see how fans would be skeptical of statements from various team leaders about, team unity, or that the team culture is materially dedicated to change. So if there's anything, can you discuss if there's any material concrete action that you guys are working towards right now to, help your Black teammates and to improve the lives of Black players in the country?
Mm-hmm. I think as always, everyone does have the opportunity to do what they want and make their own choices. And with that, you have to answer for that. Now, obviously, everybody knows where I stand, or I kneel, rather. And, I think part of the growth is to have the conversations and to sit in that uncomfortableness, because it is a little bit uncomfortable. Obviously, we're seeing that people are standing, we're seeing that people are kneeling, and clearly everyone's talking about it. I've seen the articles, and we've had discussions with ourselves, and I think the most important thing is to continue to be honest with each other, continue to share our experiences, and continue really to educate each other, and to educate ourselves. And so, have we all done enough? No. Of course not. There could never be anything that would be enough. And so I think for, players that are standing, I would say, continue to educate yourself. Continue to educate yourself on the racial history in the country, and continue to challenge yourself on why you're standing. And why you're, putting maybe your personal beliefs over something like this that is so pressing to so many people, and it is really about people's lives. So I'm not going to, get up here and bag on anyone for standing or bag on anyone for kneeling or whatever it is. It's not like I'm not going to, throw my teammates under the bus at all. I think everybody knows where I stand on that, and I think everybody knows where this team is going and the commitment that we have. And that's our focus of continuing to have conversations and open it up. While I did kneel, 4 years ago or 4.5 years ago, I think we're kind of just now starting to really open up and have these conversations as a whole team. And it is difficult. It is hard. It is awkward. And that's the conversations everybody's having all over the country right now. And so while I wish some people were further along or the whole country was further along, of course, I think people should ask themselves, what are you willing to do to end discrimination, to end racism, to end racial discrimination, to end discrimination of all kinds, and put your focus towards that. I think the Black Women's Players Collective, which is not just Black players, they obviously want, white teammate support as well. Will grow. It's something that is new, and it's something that, frankly, as a collective on a team, we're growing into understanding how to do that. It's been sort of on an individual basis, historically. But I think that as long as we are continuing to have the conversation, continuing to challenge each other, and that doesn't mean that we all agree, and that doesn't mean that there's not frustrations, and that doesn't mean that we're not having hard conversations, but as long as that conversation is going and we're continuing to educate ourselves and continuing to, as a team, I think, stand up for the right things and continuing to put our voice out there and saying, yeah, we may not have it all right and maybe not everyone's on the exact same page, but we are going to take the questions and we're going to answer them, and we're going to get in the media and we're going to get in front of people, and we're never going to shy away from that. So I think that there's obviously a lot of different opinions, and there's a lot going on, and there's a lot that can be, said and unsaid and inferred from who's standing and who's kneeling and whatever it is. But, we need to continue to move forward. And I think that's a message for the entire country. We obviously have a lot of division right now, and just pointing the finger and blaming is not going to get anybody anywhere. We need to be upfront and honest with each other and call each other out when that's necessary, and have that hard conversation, but also work towards educating each other and eventually finding a solution. So I don't have a ton of answers in terms of we're doing X, Y, and Z right this instant, but I know that the team is committed to continuing to have these conversations, and players are committed to continuing to learn and use our platform as loud as we possibly can, as we do with a lot of other issues.